What's up, guys? We're going to show you some rod repair tips today, how to replace some guides and get those rods ready for the upcoming season. The calendar just turned March, but winter's not cooperating. She's not letting go. We're getting another storm here. As with the last couple of videos, all we can do is prepare.
All right, let's get back to the shop and work on these rods.
Alright guys, so we're back at the shop. We're getting ready to replace this busted eye right here. I really hope you can follow along here. You're going to need a few materials. Not many, but you're going to need a replacement eye of the same size. You can pick these up on Mudhole. They basically have everything you could need. I will link all the details below. So you're going to need a replacement guide. You're going to need thread to wind it back on the rod. We're going to use size C thread here. Also for saltwater rods, a lot of people use size A, which is a thinner diameter. And then you're going to need a 2-part epoxy resin finish. We use Flex Coat, which is a high build formula. It really finishes really smooth. You are also going to need a heat source. I'm going to use a Bic just to show you that you can do it with quickly as a lighter. Another option is you can use an alcohol lamp, something like this, if you don't want to get any soot in your finish. If you don't want to see it, but see, I got black under wraps here, so it's not going to be a problem. But if you had a lighter color, you may want to use an alcohol. We have our rod on an actual wrapping machine because we actually do some custom rod work here. But you don't need that at all. You can see it's got some turners. You don't need that to do this kind of work. You can basically you basically cut some divots into some cardboard boxes, 2 on each side, and you can just use that. You just want something to balance out the rod while you're actually gives you the ability to spin it. But that simple cardboard box trick works a lot. I used to do it before we really got into rod building. We're gonna apply some heat to this wrap and get this pliable so that we can take off the finish. I'm gonna be really careful here because this gold underwrap I don't want to damage. I don't want to replace that. So really all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna heat up the foot of the guides so I can get the guide off and some of this finish clear so we can rewrap the new guide. You don't want to keep the heat on the blank at one point for too long. You can run a blade right over the top of the guide foot. And you can see that material, that finish material is really soft, and it basically will come right off. At this point, we're just unraveling the wrap covering the old guide. You're going to do the same. And there you have it. Got some cleanup work to do, but you can still see the under wrap is still there. Right, we want the same aesthetic look as the rest of the rod. You want to mask these as close to the base of the guides as possible. And the reason you want to do that is because you want to leave the tip exposed the front of these foot's exposed so we can wrap our thread up and over and onto the guide. Once it's onto the guide, we can get rid of the masking tape. I'm gonna go up, under, and over that thread and give it a couple of wraps. And what that's doing is it's locking onto itself. I like to tape my tag end way out front. Give yourself some tension. And you want to start wrapping towards the guide this way. And again, you're wrapping over the line right now, so it's cinching on itself. And go real slow going up the foot of the guide right here. Once you have at least 10 wraps over the initial string, you can cut off your tag end. Okay, so now the tag end is tucked underneath. Now you can get rid of your masking tape. You want to finish your wrap going all the way up to the base of your guide, and then you will wrap back on top of this thread that we're laying now all the way back to the end, and then in which case we'll finish it. Same process here. Up, over, under, couple wraps up the rod. Tape that in place. Get about 5 to 6 wraps on your tag end before we even think about cutting it. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Get rid of our tape. Cut our tag end. Now we're going to continue to wrap towards the guide. At this point, we don't need the masking tape holding the guide onto the blank anymore because our wraps are up the foot and are now securely holding the guide in place. Before you finish this last one, you want to eyeball, make sure that your guides are straight, because once you get this last wraps done, it's going to be harder to move. Looking good. We're going to continue. Okay, we've reached the base of the foot. And we're going to move over one and we're going to go the other way. Again, making sure that the thread is tight next to the wrap that we did previously. Okay, again, I'm about 5-6 wraps from the end. I want to use my loop. So my closed end of the loop goes underneath and to the outside of the wrap, the direction that I'm wrapping to. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. If you don't want these, you can tape these tag ends if you don't want them annoying you. Okay. Again, this is where it's critical. I'm cutting from the spool. I like to throw my finger on there to pinch it to make sure it's not going to go anywhere. Put your tag in through your loop. And your two cut ends of your loop, you're going to pull through towards the guide. And you can see the tag end. Tag end gets pulled underneath those 5-6 wraps to finish off your wraps. And real carefully, there you have it. Newly wrapped guide. You can see that's secure, that's not going anywhere. On an existing rod with the old under wrap and thread work underneath. That's the majority of the work. The last step is you're gonna use a 2-part epoxy finish. Here's where you need a wrapping motor. Anything that will consistently spin the rod until the epoxy can set up will work. You can get a really, really cheap setup online, which is just a turning motor and like a rubber boot to put the the end of the rod in, the butt of the rod in, and you can just have the rod resting on those box setups I was talking about earlier. You can probably get into one of these motors for 20 bucks, so instead of having to throw away a rod and get a new rod for probably 30 bucks, $35, you can replace one of the eyes. You have to use 50-50 exactly. They usually come with these little syringes to make it useful. Okay, we got our 2 parts in our mixing cup. You're just going to coat the threads with your finish. Make sure you get around the base of the guide. Again, this is really going to secure the guide in place and protect it from damage in the future. This is really where it pays off to have a drying motor, because it'll slowly, at a slow RPM, turn this for the next, it'll probably take 5 to 6 hours to set up. It'll probably be hard and completely finished within 12 hours. I usually let it go for 24 just to be safe. So you want this turning for that long. Some people get crazy with their finish. You can use a hair dryer. You can apply some heat. You want to check it maybe after 30 minutes to an hour. Make sure there's no bubbles forming in the finish. And there you have it. Hey guys, I really hope you liked this video. I hope it helped you out. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. If you like this video, please subscribe, hit the like button, ring the bell, all the good YouTube stuff. And we'll see you on the next video.